I'm never eating in groups. What is dick but a savory smoothie? Riddle me that. But we agree.
Yes.
But well, here's the thing. Okay, there's a big. This is the greatest lesson I've ever learned in life. Can I say this?
Sure.
So, well, here's the thing. When I was like a kid and a teenager, every weekend, I had to work at the fucking family catering business. Summers, had to work there. When I fucked up and dropped out of school and was a piece of shit, had to work there. Hated it. Never appreciated that it was like, your dad working for himself. Never, and clients, but like never had a boss to answer to. He was, what I'm saying? He was the boss of his company.
I understand.
And like, just didn't get it. But when it was like the 80s, there's a PGA event in New Orleans every year, right? And in the 80s, it was like, small fucking catering business. He gets a call on like a Tuesday, and it's someone who got their number from another person. Basically, there's a wedding that Saturday, and there's a big wedding, and the caterer had just dropped out, and they were fucking panicking, and they would pay whatever, but could you take and it was like, in the catering world back then especially, impossible. Like, you need more than 3 days to prep for shit, like whatever it was. But my dad was like, no, fuck it, you need it, and we're small, and we need the business, so
he
fuck
went
it.
full like the bear.
Full, just like called everybody in, whoever did it, showed up, and, catered the shit out of this wedding, and one of the guests at the wedding was the newly hired food and beverage director for that golf event, for the PGA event, and based just off of that wedding reception, hired.
Oh wow!
And they cater all the the sponsor skyboxes, and have been doing it since the mid '80s. It's like a catering gem.
Wow!
It's like the thing that put my siblings through college and shit.
So hustle being the
It was an idea. It was this idea of always do your best because you don't know who's in the room.
Yep.
And I still
my mom used to say that about makeup.
About makeup?
Yeah.
Because you never know.
You never know who's going to be there, so you got to, she'll be doing her fucking lipstick in the fucking parking lot of CVS. She's like, you never know who's going to be selling pharmaceuticals.
You never know. Or who's going to hire you to fucking paint kids' faces at the carnival based on your fucking face, Mom.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Like, even going to cardiologist appointments, she would always be doing her makeup. Like, I'd be late to them because she's, like, doing makeup, like, in the car, because I think she low-key, like, wanted to bang my cardiologist. I don't know that she would ever, like...
Why wouldn't you want to bang a cardiologist?
Well, I think it also goes deeper than that. It's like, you saved my boy's life.
Cardiologists go pretty deep. Wait, oh.
You know what I'm saying?
I keep forgetting that you are a cyborg.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I think that's the way into any middle-aged woman's heart is, like, saving her son's life. So, like, if you out there are, like, trying to get with a lady to get her to notice you, all you got to do is, like... kind of like grab the kid that they brought to the park and was like, oh, little guy was a little close to traffic. I'm John or whatever,
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like, I just had to save the little fella. Yeah, I definitely didn't push him in the river.
Yeah. I definitely didn't.
So you single or?
I definitely don't know that guy who grabbed him and tried to run very slowly.
Yeah, I didn't set that
away
up
with him and immediately dropped him as soon as I raised my voice
kind
and
of a
accidentally
hero.
said his name. Which he acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil, put him down. I mean, Guy, hey, you. Guy's probably named Phil, like every fucking piece of shit. How you doing, little man? Hey, lady.
Oh, my God, thank you so much. That's my son.
Is it?
Another fly dad, dude.
What do you think about makeup?
I think you never know. All right,
you never know who's going to be at the park.
Yeah, I mean, I think your dad's version of it is probably a little bit better because I don't really wear makeup, so it wasn't really a lesson that I could like use. Because I also don't put too much stock in self presentation to that extent of like,
well, yeah,
I must be manufactured.
Yeah, I mean, makeup is who doesn't want to wear that? Imagine that line in reality where like men were the ones who wore makeup. But it came from the origin of like painting our faces as warriors and hunters, and then eventually it was like, oh, I like this. Actually, this tone makes my skin look a little younger and more youthful. And then men became the ones who
probably would be a more balanced society.
Yeah, And then women were just like scratching themselves.
Because somehow we
not
lucked out
shaving.
where it's like kind of cool to look like shit as a dude on some level.
On some level.
Like even when your hair's done, it should kind of not look it.
Just look a little disheveled.
Yeah, you should just
Like
look
disheveled on purpose.
right. Like there is something like, oh, he's kind of needs some help.
But also,
Men have to we just have to look like we need a little bit of help, not too much.
just a tiny bit
Just
of
a
guidance.
little
Just
help.
a little.
It's like, oh, if I could just help him a little bit, he could be exactly the same.
If I could just take my influence and put just the tip in to his life.
If I could
then
just
maybe I'd let him put the tip in.
enough the nooks and crannies of that
I mean, I feel like yes, but then there's also something to be said about the fucking guy that walks in who's just like suit, hair slicked back, jawline, perfectly placed tattoos. You know what I mean? Like the guy who's like,
I wasn't expecting tattoos on this guy.
yeah, the guy's definitely got tats because he's been to the dark side. Now he knows. You know what? Comb your fucking hair,
Yeah,
brush your teeth,
ladies like the tat. Yeah, the tat. It's like, oh my
fucking
god,
put a tie on.
Yeah, he's not afraid of needles.
No, in fact, pays for them.
Yeah,
In fact, pays people to.
he's got
stab
money.
him
He's not scared of
thousands
Hep
times
C.
over and over again. Yeah, he's not afraid of Hep C. Not afraid of pain. Also, not afraid to be a gentleman.
Or wear a suit. I mean, this guy's got it all.
And never
I
mind.
guess I misspoke. I should have said we have the option of
Yeah.
looking like total disheveled shitbags. To an extent, I think it's got to be tastefully shitty
But you and I think, are the same guy.
in that
Where
sense.
no, we're also like, I also think there's something very attractive about a woman in a state of disheveled. I don't give a fuckness either.
Oh yeah,
Like I think women underplay themselves. They underplay that card too. Like if like women, when you can like, dude, something about a woman with just like greasy hair pulled back, and just like a t-shirt, no bra, and like fucking, you know,
gym shorts.
dude, or yoga tights, or just sweatpants and like Crocs. Clearly, just going and pick up an order she just placed. I'm like, damn, like
Yeah, that does.
I want to know your fucking.
Well,
story.
because it suggests a level of because you're not playing. You're not
Yeah.
playing the game
I want to
that
come
has
home.
been sort of like
Yeah.
spoon fed
I want
you.
to walk up like, yo, you want to split that pad thai?
I'm like,
Oh, I
yo,
know it's
you're
got tofu in it. I don't give a fuck.
you're definitely not my mom
Yeah,
because you're not wearing makeup to CVS.
So I
at
can't be
all.
attracted to you at all.
Dude, Freud is a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. I think that guy was just a weird pervert who wanted to have sex with his mom and kill his dad, and then he just projected that onto everybody. Like, at what
And
point are
everybody
we just gonna like admit that a lot of these psychologists are simply fucked up people who like they'll find some angle like that, and it's like, well, I guess I technically can't refute it all the way because.
But do you not think, though, that your mother at least influences? There's an influence?
Everything that I am influenced by my parents in terms of what I desire,
Yeah.
I think is in some way a game of mirrors of like I want the opposite of that, except my mom is funny and I do like funny
Sure.
people.
But I mean, but you don't think like, I mean, 'cause I don't know. I would not say.
Funny is huge though. That says a lot about you.
Yeah, sure. My mom's very funny. I like funny people.
Funny people tend to have like a good, no glass jaw, like they're able to,
Well,
sit in the darkness.
Well, for example, like, so, side note. So my brother, I was like, hey, invite dad to the bachelor party.
Got
he's
it.
fucking 72. And who does that? Who invites their dad to their bachelor party?
Yeah, that's fun.
So he's like, yeah, so my dad's coming. And, he's like, oh, I've never been to Costa Rica. Neither have we, but we're going to go. It's going to be awesome. And my two sisters are just, and we're months away, but they're constantly just like, you do not let him walk. He's going to want to walk everywhere. And if you guys are out late, he's going to want to stay out. He is 72 now. You have to, for Christ's sake, just please don't let him. He's going to want to go in the water and he can swim. I know he can swim. But then both of us are just constantly like, you be careful and dad's older now and don't you try and.
Yeah.
And my mom's just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Let him do whatever he wants. Timmy, do what you want.
Yeah.
She's like, if dad wants to do cocaine on the beach, let him do it.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't fucking care. He's lived long enough to do what he wants to do, boys. And we're just like, you see that? My mom gets it. She's like, what's he going to do? Cheat on me?
I will
and if
say,
he does, good for him.
I have a bad read on like.
I mean, Dad, don't cheat on Mom. But anyway.
Yeah, don't do that. I have a bad read on like when old people get old. I really don't know. I just assume they're just as capable as they were like before. You know, like for example, I was at the beach with my mom, and she's like by the water, and like my cousin was doing much like you're describing your sister's doing. She was like, "Oh, you look out! Like your mom is a little too close to the waves. Like Ryan, you should go down there with her." And I'm like, "She's a fucking adult lady. What the hell are we talking about?"
Yeah.
Literally, before I can finish that sentence, this lady is hit by a wave so hard and just absolutely like topples, just bird bodies, like skinny legs, just absolutely like, and then and I'm like, she'll get up, right? She's gonna get up, and then like another wave comes down. And I'm like, she's got this one though. She's fine. And then like, I'm like, all right, now we gotta go.
Someone get in there.
But I just like have a hard time. So I can see their point because it's like he's not who he was. But at the same time, I see your mom's point of like, go do cocaine in Costa Rica.
That would be so fucking wild if my parents like sat me down and were like, listen, we gonna swing. So when you take Dad to Costa Rica, Mom's going to go to fucking, I don't know, Negril Beach and just see what happens.
What do you think the effects of that are on a kid? Like, back to the Freudian shit. If a parent, growing up in a household where your parents are swingers and, like, very sexually free, do you think that creates a conservative?
Yeah.
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 Someone who's like, we should we should sleep in separate beds.
I kind of think the key to parenting is not at all in any way shoving your shit metaphorically or literally
down the throat of the child.
Down the throat of the kid.
Yeah.
Like physically or mentally. Like none of it. Like don't force your beliefs on them. Don't force your
I know.
opinions,
Ask questions.
Your yeah, exactly. Be curious. Let them know what you think. Let them know what you believe. Let them know who you hate. Let them know what you love. Let them know how lame you are, how cool you are, whatever. But don't at all force them to do the same or get pissed at them for not.
Especially if you're poor. I mean, how dare you? How dare you be poor and forceful of your ways? You crazy asshole. You clearly failed at this game. And
nothing wrong with eating goddamn cheese.
And you're like, you're going to do exactly what I do. Here's some hamburger helper. And it's like you're not even happy with this end result. So how dare you?
Yeah. Or like projecting like, you are going to be a fucking neuroscientist. It's like, why? Oh, why? Because I've been
damaged.
Because I've been eating nothing but ramen noodles every night for 14 years.
I do like, you are going to be a fucking neuroscientist.
You're going to be a fucking neuroscientist. But Chad Jefferson, you're going to be a neuroscientist.
That combo.
Why? Because
of
Dad
like,
hits me in the head constantly?
That combo of forceful plus highly ambitious, like you are going to be a fucking nerd. That's like a Patrick Bateman creation. Like I feel like you're creating a monster.
Yeah.
Because like he will become a neuroscientist, but then have the deep rage that you instilled in him by forcing him to do this, and then the only way he can find freedom is to like, eat people's brains or something of that nature.
I mean, dude, like the fucking... Oh, I mean, dude, check this out.
Okay, I'll check it out. I will.
This is, I don't give a fuck.
You gotta give it to me.
This is some name droppery shit, but I don't give a fuck.
Oh, okay.
But
George Clooney.
No, Jon Stewart. Said
Bill Clinton.
Jon Stewart said.
Steve Jobs.
He said the thing about parenting is don't take any of it seriously.
Yeah, that's good.
And when you really think, I'm sorry, I fucked that up. He said don't take any of it personally.
Kind of the same thing.
But when you think about that, I'm like, dude, I can think of every like inflammatory, incendiary, shouty, some of the most awful things said between two people who share blood, ever fights I ever got into with my parents, were honestly that. Were me being a shit little demon piece of shit, saying things, trying to hurt them, and them reacting. Because they took it personally.
Bro.
Oh, okay. You don't want to be in this house? Then fucking leave, you little fucking shit.
Yo.
You little My mom called me a motherfucking cocksucker once.
That's not even.
And I was like 12.
That doesn't even sound cool.
But I remember being like in the moment, being like, I didn't know you could put all those together.
Yeah.
Like it opened up my mind to how swearing could work.
But that's too.
But that was her just angrily.
Yeah, you imagine being so mad you put that many syllables together in a row.
At your kid.
Yeah.
I'm just blast them out. That's what I'm saying. Like the idea of you being a little shit, because I remember that feeling. You probably do too.
I hate that though, because it is ultimately people mismanaging. Like I remember my step grandmother.
How many step relatives do you have, dude? Because you've said step every single possible relative. Brother, sister, grandma, grandpa,
No,
aunt,
I didn't.
Uncle, father.
I mean, I have a stepmom and she has a whole family. That's basically how that works.
A step.
So, but my step grandmother.
You must get a lot of cardio in with all these step relatives.
Oh, let's go. She would literally, like, if she came over and there's like 4-year-olds like playing, right?
Yeah.
And they don't say hi to her, like she would like.
Oh yeah, dude.
Take that personally.
Yeah.
And then like leave hurt, and like just create this like no, it's okay. No.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, if one more adult is like gets their feelings hurt by a toddler in front of me, I mean, I'm just going to snap.
Yeah.
It was infuriating to watch
And
that choice be made again and again.
And the reality that most people probably don't understand how to, they're fucking truly understand their emotions, so their frontal lobes developed at, 25?
Yeah, exactly. But, like, these kids are not doing this at you to the point of not taking it personally.
They just don't get it yet.
Yeah.
But then, and I understand. And trust me, I can understand how from the parents' end, all of a sudden out of nowhere, your 8-year-old goes, "Fuck you, bitch." I understand how that can set you off. But at the same time,
of course,
the idea of an 8-year-old going, "Fuck you, bitch," and the mother going, "Well, that sucks that you said that." And like handling it more like a manager.
That's
more
okay.
Like, that sucks.
But I'm saying
you're punished now.
If the child is simply existing, that's the part where I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like,
you're talking about not even just being a kid.
They weren't being. They were just like doing something else. Probably didn't even see you come in the house.
They didn't like walk in. There wasn't like a crayon drawn sign that said "Fuck you, Aunt Maggie."
Yeah,
you dumb cunt.
I could also see like
that would actually be. I mean,
sophisticated.
And how would you actually have to react to that? Though?
I mean,
impressed. I'd be like, "That's impressive."
I feel like as a parent,
that's impressive.
I haven't parented, but I would imagine like when your kid first says like "fuck you" to you, you have to just think like the amount of times I like didn't let your head just fall.
Yeah, or just on purpose.
Just kept you fed. Yeah.
Also, I love the idea, the way you said, "I haven't parented." It was like, I haven't skydived, but from what I understand, it's just something you do once, and you say, "That's crazy. I don't know if I'll ever do it again." To be honest,
honestly,
I do not know if I'll ever do it again.
That's literally my father's
Glad
model.
I did it though. Treated parenting like
he'd show
jumping
up,
out of an airplane.
He showed up for like 4 days, and then was like, I don't know, and then he's like, and then he has another one. And keeps having, and your parents said that they changed their course. Yeah. This guy,
same,
unbelievably same.
I love, and then like does it once.
It's shocking.
Does it once. It's like fuck that, never again. Then a few years later, it's like let's do it again. Let's try it again. Fuck it, I did it once. Yeah, do it again.
And I'm talking about like bed sheets, same bed sheets on the bed. My little brothers have bed sheets that most of the teams on the bed sheets don't even play in the league anymore,
and have just been washed away by piss.
Yeah, just
over the years
of just
bedwetting. I imagine.
Of course.
Well, dude, come on, don't be. Are you ashamed?
Huh? I haven't really pissed the bed as an adult, but no. If no, I've never been so drunk that I pissed the bed.
What?
Yeah,
man, I'm impressed. I'm impressed now. That's my new thing that I'm gonna tell people about you.
That I haven't pissed the bed as an adult.
If I'm ever like, Ryan Donahue, never pissed the bed as an adult. Never, booze, I know, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
guy can hold it.
Yeah,
guy can hold it. The
whole
point is now I'm trying to get inside your head and you piss the bed tonight. So next episode, you're like, dude, what'd you fucking do to me?
I can't stop pissing the bed.
I'm pissing right now.
That's a very funny curse to put on someone. It just makes every time they fall asleep, they piss the bed, and then they just become like petrified of falling asleep, knowing that they're just going to unload piss all over themselves.
Would you rather the ability to make someone piss the bed every night or give someone kidney stones?
Kidney stones is too evil.
All right, I agree with you.
Yeah,
kidney stones is harsh.
that's fucked up.
Yes, being like, and you, and then you just piss the bed every single night, no matter what.
Yeah, or like until you decide.
It's up there with the ability to make people fart against their will, like mentally, like, and they just
like
rip,
Matilda fart out of someone's ass.
just straight up like, yeah, or yeah. But
That would be great.
But making someone making someone wet the bed every night, magical power, is far worse because A, they're hiding it, so they're going through the stress of having a secret, like a very like embarrassing secret.
Yeah.
2, it doesn't stop, so they're probably not getting as good a sleep
They're
because they're worried about. And then 3, like it whacks their confidence completely away.
Dude, the stress of having a secret is so real.
Yeah, man. That's actually like the one X-Man power that's like if that guy exists, he could take down the whole fucking planet.
I've long said that like truly the goal of life is to be 60 with no secrets.
That's a great goal. That's a great goal.
You know?
Yeah.
If
I'm
you can just
I'm almost there, bro.
No, you're not. You're not. No.
Put it like this, I'm closer to 60 than I am to having no secrets.
Yeah.
I mean, not really.
Are you
No, secret's a strong word. Just shit I don't like to talk about.
I know.
And I'm like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, a secret it implies
Yeah.
something sinful,
Like
dark.
Like it's not that I can't tell anyone or someone's gonna fucking come for me.
Right.
But oh my real name, you don't want to go there. But it's just shit. I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Or just yeah. But nothing. I mean, if you like flipped my mental dossier, right? If you like looked at my files right now, there's nothing in there. I think I'd be like, terrified. I'd just be like, yeah, that sucked.
Yes.
We all have that much in debt, you know?
Right. But I'm also laughing at how like relative this is too. Like you think about someone who is raised like very strict and religious, and like what they would consider to be a cardinal sin would be like, I won $50 on a scratch ticket and I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to share. And like you could like truly get yourself into like a psoriasis outbreak from stress of holding that secret in if you've been properly brainwashed.
Yeah. The whole idea of
like Butters in South Park, like how he's like truly such a great kid.
Yeah.
But like his parents are always like, Butters, what the hell? You've done it again, you son of a bitch. And he's just like, sorry, I was just having a snack. Like, you know?
I mean, yeah, religion is real good at making people be like, I looked at her neck for 3 seconds longer than, and then got aroused, and now I have to go. Now I have to starve myself.
I have to clean my penis for 24 hours until
now I have to put my penis into a toaster oven and cook away a layer of flesh, the layer that has been sullied by sin.
Dude.
That has been smooched by the devil.
And like, smooched by the devil.
Smooched by the devil.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, but that's
Hilarious.
religion.
I know.
Your penis has been smooched by the devil, young man.
That's this after too. Yeah, I can't, because even I like, we would have to go to church, but my dad would make us go to church because my stepmom wanted to go to church and he wanted to get laid. So I knew at a very early on age that like I'm literally just doing this so that his relationship goes smoothly with her. I'm essentially wingmanning for my dad by going to church with this lady.
But specifically with your stepmom.
Yeah, so that he could be on good terms with her. He's like, guys, please do me a fucking solid and come to church and don't make it weird.
Okay.
And it'd be like, all right, dude.
That is more respectable, but less interesting because I thought you were implying
that he was getting laid at church.
No, that he was bringing you along to distract
other women.
The stepmom.
Oh.
So that he can fucking pitch woo.
No.
In the name of Jesus.
No.
He's like, Ryan,
that's not a bad
Ryan,
pun, though.
Ryan, pray with your mother. She's your mother. No, today she's your mother.
Yo, there was a lot of that.
Today she's your mother.
There was a lot of that.
You pray with her.
Not necessarily mother.
You go over there, you say the fucking Hail Mary in the goddamn mouth. You pray the rosary with your mother. Today she's your mother. Hey, how's it going, babe?
Yeah.
Genevieve, I know these little guys. I saved him. He's my own kid. I saved him.
Right. I'm a hero.
I saved him from the clutches of his mother. Oh, she's
Dude,
terrible.
there is something.
No, that's his sister.
Every family that like isn't 100%, like, you know, if there was like a remarriage or like the way that they force this is truly, we are a family, like these are you'll have half brothers, and instead of being like, yeah, this is cool, like they have a different mom, you know, and being like understanding that people are different, it's like they're your brother, and it's just like they're not technically fully that. It's okay. That doesn't mean I love them less, but to force like as if your decisions didn't create the disjointed nature that you are sort of swearing isn't there. It'd be like me being like, this is not a plant.
But that goes back to the parent taking the dysfunction personally, or the lack of interest. Yeah, because I can see the world. I can see a world where like, hey kids, we're gonna go we're gonna go to this fucking fair today, and the kid's like, I don't want to do that shit. Like, and instead of being like, you are doing that right now, young man.
Yeah.
I worked all week to get tickets. You're doing. Instead of that, just being like, well, that sucks. Well, now you're just gonna stay home all day. Later.
Yeah.
And just being like, cool, man. You want to do that? That's what you want to do? Bummer. Bye. And I get how that's hard as a parent, but I also feel like I'm putting myself in the kid's shoes. And if I'm like, because that's the thing too, like you have to, I think as a parent, you have to create a version of reality where your kids want to be around you.
Ideally.
And like, I get it when they're young, they want to be around you no matter fucking what.
Yeah.
But
I've found that my dad's relationship with every one of his sons has soured as soon as they've been old enough to complete like a rational thought and function as like an 32, individual 33? Outside of no, way younger. But like as soon as any of them hit puberty, it becomes like, who is truly the man of this cave?
Oh, yeah, I think it's got to be
instead of just like, oh, you have a different idea of things? Cool, why don't we talk about it? It's just like, you know, as soon as you're not dependent on me for fish sticks.
Yeah, instead of being like, young man, or young man or young lady, you're gonna eat this, you're gonna like this, and you're going to do this with your life. Instead of being like, hey, we're having some of this. You in? All right, whatever. Hey, this is pretty cool, but what's your thing?
Yeah.
And would just like to see you not be a fucking loser.
Yeah, that'd be
losers.
Huge.
That's not go. Losers ain't allowed in this home. Get the fuck out. Mm-hmm. But that's also
it's hypocritical.
Hypocritical because then you were a loser when you decided to become a parent.
You know that?
Jesus Christ!
No,
I had to look right in the camera for that. Joke alert. No,
But wait, you're going to Costa Rica.
That's just it. Just my sisters are terrified that my dad.
Oh yeah,
is gonna fucking get swallowed by a wave or fall into a fucking sand pit or eaten by a iguana or some shit. And my mom's like, get him out there, dude. Seriously.
Yeah,
let him
why
fucking
not?
party. Let him party. Let him get crazy. He's got to go to bed at fucking 11 p.m. Let him get crazy.
I do wonder what happens to your mind.
He's going to smoke cigars and drink rum.
Is he noticeably different as like a 70-something-year-old?
He's just, no, not really.
Just a little slower?
He's slightly, but my parents are very like, you know, they I mean, I don't know how much of this I should say on an active platform, but, you know, they microdose a little bit these days.
Let's go.
And it's like,
that's cool.
It's amazing. The effects are amazing.
I mean, true in a less judgmental society, that's actually, you know, that's a W.
But my parents are still, luckily, both very cognizant, very like.
Well, the fact that they're also willing to like, kind of not just do the same thing every day, like you know, the people who live in like true fear of life itself, just like always need to have the same exact reality placed before them, and if it doesn't happen that way, they freak out. And it's like, at what point can we just? You're not even happy with how this is, but you're refusing to sleep in anything other than a big bed of shit, essentially.
Well, here's something interesting. My parents, there was always a TV on in our house. Mm-hmm. Always. Usually
a little white noise.
Always just on. Always just. Sometimes people are watching it. Sometimes not. Entire conversations and activities and homework being done. Like just TV was always kind of on. So we just kind of became like desensitized to it, unless it was something like you had to watch. You know, oh, this is on, cool. But for the most part, it was just there. It was just on, and we were just conversing. And I would say, really, truly, everybody watching it 35% of the time. The rest of the time, it was just there, right? And I remember my ex, the first time she was around that, and I don't think she found it weird. She was just sort of like, wow, it's just different. My parents, never let us watch TV. And when we when we could watch TV, it was for like an hour a day, and it had to be educational or whatever. But then I noticed being at her parents' house sometimes, whenever a TV was turned on in the house, it was just like everyone's attention just immediately was like, the television is on. And just like,
interesting.
Yeah, kind of like it would just suck people's attention in. And it was so I was like, I don't know if one's better than the other. I just know it was interesting because you will not ever be at my parents' house or my sister's house or even my brother's house. Anybody, and if I don't have a TV because that was a choice, right? Mm-hmm. I also watch everything on my laptop. But like if I had a TV, probably the same thing in my apartment, just on, and it's just there. It's just like this thing that you occasionally tune into, like whatever, change channels sometimes.
Yeah, my mom is that way. Yeah. She'll just have it on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. What this person who
also though really quickly. Took a long time till I got to a point where I could fall asleep without a TV. Now I can. But up until I was like 35, I had to have something. Maybe fuck that. Maybe even 40. I had to have something on to fall asleep. Now I can, but like,
yeah,
it affected my like.
Do you have do your ears ring or anything when you don't have anything on?
Wait, weirdly enough, they are right now.
Really?
Wait, do you hear that?
No.
Yeah, fuck. Would you rather be able to cause auditory hallucinations, right? Mm-hmm. People hear things that aren't there, or see things that are someone else? You can make someone else see the truth of whatever situation they're in.
100% see the truth.
Yeah, and I realized how lopsided that question was.
Yeah.
As soon as I asked
I mean, how much of a psychopath would I be like, I want to fuck with people's brains?
I want to make them think they're hearing a bird. They're hearing a
Would you rather torture people or help them?
Fuck.
Yeah.
How's that for questions?
Yeah.
It's like the guy, like the version of my questions, like, would you rather murder a baby or shave an entire fucking civilization? One. Would you rather fuck a dead moose or marry the person of your dreams? Two. Would you rather have an idea that saves the world and makes you enough money and your family enough money to live comfortably for generations, but not spoil you because you had the wherewithal to donate half of the proceeds to homeless charities? Or
shit your pants?
Would you rather just shout the N-word 5 times a day, every single day for the rest of your life?
But you can't decide
outdoors. When. But you can't decide when.
It just happens.
Which one you want to go with?
Dude, Tourette's, if you, like, people have Tourette's where they actually will scream like a slur. Like, that is a thing.
Oh, damn.
Which I don't really understand how that works. Is it that your nervous system is like, don't say this, don't say this, don't say that? Oh, that's what makes you say it? Like, is that how the tics work?
I don't know, but I know this. I do know this. This was years ago. I was sort of kind of friends, but dating, but ultimately friends. This girl who the first time I ever like met her family, this was young in New Orleans. She's like, listen, my uncle's going to be there. He has Tourette's and it's noticeable. Just, you really can't say anything. You really can't. I'm like, cool. I got you. But his thing was so he was a little bit older. His thing was he would just randomly go, like he would do that. The honeymooners thing. I know you probably don't know what that is. But
I mean, that's giving Elmer Fudd to me.
The why I oughta. I mean, you know what that is, right?
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah, that was his thing.
That's just in American. That's right. Like double dipping.
He would just randomly, and sometimes it sounded like, where? Sometimes it was quick, but sometimes it was very like,
why I oughta.
And it would just be like, and he'd just be like, it was a barbecue situation,
which is crazy because it's a threat.
But it wasn't like.
Obviously, it was not intentional.
There was like twice when I was in a situation talking to him where he would just, it happened sometimes, like, it's like it had like levels to it. But then there were a couple times where you heard it from the other side of the yard, like, why I oughta, and you're just like, and everyone's around just being like,
that's not happening.
If you acknowledge it, you're the asshole right now.
Yeah.
And so it's, because I've heard variations of that it could be like just lines from like, pop culture or songs but then also
see an involuntary thing like that, I think it's very okay to like not acknowledge, like it makes sense that it's like it can't be helped, but I do think there's 1 million adults on this planet, if not 100 million, who
No, there's 7 billion.
yeah, but like
Oh, you mean
their thing is, I'm this kind of piece of shit, and if you acknowledge it, it's going to be a problem.
Oh yeah.
And
dude.
I'm like, don't make me not get to say what is happening.
I do
like
stand,
that's infuriating.
Yeah, I do.
Like someone getting off stage,
dude.
it's like, can we not just say you bombed? Why can't we just? Why can't that be okay?
Or just like,
Why am I mean?
I kind of think, and I'm sure I could be proven wrong, but I don't know. I kind of think if you can verbalize it, you can change it, or you can at least take the steps. Like
That's why it's helpful to say what is happening.
But like people who are just like, I don't know, like people who are annoying and just like, well, that's just how I am. I'm like, but you've acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Which means that you understand
that you're doing this to people.
And it's wrong, or that's shitty, or that's annoying.
And we don't like it.
Yeah, and like you're doing something that people generally are stressed out and pissed off and angry when you're
just
around.
like generally not feeling it. Yeah.
And but the fact that you acknowledge it
means that you're doing it on purpose.
Or just that, or you refuse to change. You refuse to even take the fucking attempts.
I'll say both.
Both, yeah.
And that, like there's adults. I know,
Dude.
like, yeah.
It's the person who I cannot fucking stand. I cannot stand this attribute in any human being. The guy or girl or they or them or person, doesn't matter, who's like a lot in social situations and then goes, if I'm being too much, just tell me to fuck off.
Oh, I know.
You're like, yeah, no, you know what sucks about this? A, why do I have to be the adult for you? And B, you know what you never do? Fuck off. You never actually fuck off.
Yeah, but some people wouldn't even extend that fake courtesy.
Well, or they do like milder versions, like, hey, if I'm wearing out my welcome, just let me know. It's like, no, you should be able to tell that you're wearing out your welcome.
And we've all
why is it on me?
We've all worn out our welcome and then realized
and
it
know
late.
it and leave.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're like me, you oftentimes, I'm gonna say 98.9% of the time, when I think I've worn out my welcome, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I end up leaving situations way too early.
Right.
Or I end up just not even joining in on situations. But the 1.1% of the time that I'm right, it's terrible. It's like, yeah, I fucking blew that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, there's people that feel very welcome everywhere. Like I once was talking to a gal who told me that her dad raised her this is what she was told as a child. When you walk into a room, people want to give you money.
Yeah, man.
And I'm like, wow.
That's definitely not taking it personally.
Yeah.
That's just,
I mean, and
that's being like, hey, everyone around here likes you. They don't even have to know you.
Yeah.
So henceforth, it can't be personal.
Honestly, if I had a daughter, I'd probably say the same. You know, like why raise anyone with the fear of like, no one's gonna like you, you little piece of garbage.
Well, I don't think do that, but I think go a different way of like, hey, when you walk into a room, everyone's got money. It's your job to get it from them.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You know what I mean? But don't without fucking them or stealing it from them.
Yeah,
you gotta add those addendums. But like, unless you want to do both those things.
Yeah,
unless that's
I will say, the whole thing of like people want to give you money when you walk in a room. It did breed an air of entitlement. I can say that.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like you'd almost rather have your kid feel entitled than feel downtrodden, or like dispirited.
I don't know because I feel like those are two places where the situation flips. Where like if a kid starts off entitled, chances are it's really easy to suddenly just live a downtrodden shit life because they've walked around like they're entitled, and all it's going to take is that one time of someone being like, nope, not here, fuck off, versus the downtrodden person who's like, God damn it, I got to fucking earn this everywhere I go. And then suddenly, next thing you know, they don't feel entitled. They become entitled, but in everyone else's eyes, not in theirs. Does that make sense? Where it's like, we should give them praise.
You would hope,
they're a good person. And they're like, oh, I don't deserve it. But versus the guy who's like, why doesn't everyone love me? And everyone else is like, because you fucking don't do anything. You bring nothing to the banquet.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it's like, as a guy, like to be an entitled guy is disgusting.
I mean, to be entitled, anything.
I know, but there's something about being a guy
dudes.
who, like what you just did. Why doesn't everyone like me? Like as a guy,
I mean, those
there's
guys
something exceptionally, because there's nothing likable inherently about a dude necessarily. As compared, women have soft features.
Yes.
You know, they're smaller.
Women
like
soft
fuzzy
features.
animals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's more of like a likable, like you know. If you're just like a oafy dude,
they're easier to bear hug.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, you could fit them in crawl spaces.
like soft feet. Yeah. But no, women do have. I know what you mean.
It's like a harmlessness.
Women, or just more of like a, oh, thank you, like a breath of like
fresh air.
A woman walks in,
a
not
presence.
like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
I will tell you, when I went to that Sabrina Carpenter concert and it was all women, I was like, I feel insane for being here, but also I've never been. You couldn't feel safer at Madison Square Garden if you tried than like a Sabrina Carpenter, like all of her girl fan base. I'm like, all right, if you like hate these people, you are a fucking loser because these people are absolutely nice.
I mean, dude,
in this context,
I can't believe you're actually here saying that women can't be creeps. That women can't be creepy.
No, they can.
You're
be.
Saying women can't do that.
I'm saying,
I know.
Yeah. One versus the other. Like I forgot who I was talking to, but it was like if you walk into a bar and it's all dudes, versus you walk into a bar and it's all women.
Yeah.
I think you're having a better time if you know nobody.
Dude, I think I've told you. I think I fucking told you this story once about I was in Sioux Falls, South Carolina. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, at a show after a bar, talking to these 4 women, having fun, drinking, whatever. And this dude comes over to me who I recognized from being like at the show. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Hey man, ladies, I'm sorry, I got to steal him for a second, dude. We got to go do this shot with the bartender. It's this crazy shot. We'll be right back. Sorry, man, I got to run, but I want to get you one." And he pulls me aside, and he's just got Irish car bombs. And he's like, "Hey, look, do the shot with me, and then you got to get the fuck out of here." I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Whoa, what?" And he's like, "Listen, dude, listen. There's like a table of dudes back there. You're talking to like the only women in this bar, and they're back there actively plotting your demise. And I know 2 of those guys, and I don't think they're kidding. So like, I know like
sick."
And I was like, "Oh yeah," and I did the shot, and I was like, "All right, man," and I like pulled out at the time I was a smoker, and I pulled out a cigarette. And the other comic on the show was out there waiting for him. He's like, "Did that guy?" I was like, "Yeah." And we just walked back to our hotel. And just hung out at the hotel bar, which closed. But it was like, and then we looked it up later, and it was like the ratio of men to women spots. Was like 7-1.
Right.
In like the city of Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
So like, but then flip that scenario around. If it's like I'm talking to the 4 dudes. And there was just a bunch of women. One of them would have came over, bought me a shot, and be like, "Hey, thank you so much for talking to the men, so we don't have to.
Yeah,
we're just having like the time of our lives. So drinks are on us until you want to. Please just keep talking. Please keep distracting the men.
Yeah,
keep talking about whatever.
Yeah,
and you're like, yeah, no, I get it. Because women and their soft features.
Right.
Well, dude, it's like,
oh, you hate soft, nice things.
I do think that women are the reason.
Who else are you mad at? Puppies?
Well, I think women are the reason society exists. Well, yeah. I think like civilization all started because one fucking caveman wanted to impress a cavewoman.
Yeah.
Like
I would say that's fair to say.
Like no one you get like
which if you think about it,
some of it went into misogynist realms, but
little devil's advocate for you. That means every atrocity was done on women's behalf, which means it's their fault.
Damn, dude, we got to the bottom of it again.
You know what I mean? See how they're always to blame no matter what? You could just really flip anything.
I mean, yeah, but you remove we're fucking barbarians, but in a good way. But no, and sometimes in a bad way, so never mind.
Yeah, no, it's
barbarians. Not good, not bad, just gray area. That's what barbarian means in old German.
I will say, I mean, the checks and balances of, like, man and woman. Like, we are reckless. Like, you think about a little boy and a little girl, like, playing on a playground. The boy is, like, whacking his wiener into the side of the swing set.
Right.
Like shoving sticks in his ass and barfing and
chewing on rocks,
smashing his head on rocks.
Yeah.
And the girl is like, you know,
like the guy that like little boys are picking up something and throwing it at another person just because like, what happens when I do that?
Yes.
What happens when I do that?
Dude, perfect example.
Yeah.
This is this is not, well, whatever.
And a woman's like, what happened? I'm gonna pick up that same thing. What happens if I clean this and protect it and use it to like build other things, make more things?
Yeah, and I can paint it.
I mean, you know, but
and I can name it and put it on my windowsill.
But I'm not throwing it at anybody else's head.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went to this is a crazy bad story, but I went to my friend Sam Smith's house. First time I ever slept over a friend's house. I was in like, you know, first grade or something, and he had a pet hamster. Okay. And I ran up the stairs to see. We thought it was a hedgehog, but it was a hamster. We didn't really know what things were. And I mean,
hedgehog's way cooler than a hamster.
Yeah, I know. It was just a hamster, though.
Oh, wait. Did I hear that backwards? I thought you said you thought it was a hamster.
No, we thought it was a hedgehog.
Okay.
And so I took it out, you know, and I kind of tossed it to him, like from here to here. Yeah. And he laughed. And then he tossed it back to me, and we laughed again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, as an adult, I can look back at that moment and know that my throw to him was a question of how do you feel about what this is?
Yeah.
And then his throw back to me was like, I don't care what happens to this thing. And we just played catch with his hamster until it died.
Like mid-catch?
Just, you know, it died the next day.
Jesus.
I know.
How far were y'all putting on
we were
gloves
6. No, it was just
just fucking Nolan Ryan.
No, it wasn't hard tosses. It was soft.
In that bad boy.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I feel terrible about it. I'm like, this is what little boys are. Nothing had happened to us. Neither one of us, to my knowledge, had been molested or anything like that. We were just 5-year-old male boys.
I mean, but that's you're not setting it on fire or
no, it wasn't cereal, but it's still not good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Should I not have admitted that?
No, all right. That's not. I mean, keep going. You know? What else?
Well, I mean, then there was this time we.
Tell us about the guy, your friend's younger brother. You took him in the woods. What happened?
I actually got a cat because my dad
gutted a cat.
No. I got a cat. The reason I got my first cat was my dad was going. He was fishing at a pond, and some guy was taking a cat out in a canoe, and he's like, "What are you doing with that cat?" He's like, "Oh, I don't want it, so I'm gonna throw it into the water."
Jesus, just let the fucking thing go.
I know. My dad was like, "Give me the fucking cat."
That's wild.
So it's you know, and that's a grown adult. He's more of a piece of shit than my childhood
shit,
stuff.
Dude. That's actually I don't want this thing, so I'm murdering it. That's fucking wild.
It's just insane.
Yeah, but a woman would have been no, I'm not only keeping this thing, I'm building it its own house in my apartment.
Right, and I'll move out and I'm gonna.
It's belongs to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even live here.
Right,
I live in the street. I don't want myself. I'm gonna go drown myself. We're going to go out in the canoe, and I'm going to drown myself, and the cat's going to be fine.
And I'll leave a bunch of tuna in the boat for the cat.
It'll be fine. And then, you know, maybe some man will rescue me.
That's why I think it's so...
I'm kidding. That's parts unnecessary.
And this is likely sexist, but it's everything we're saying, right? I'm that's why I think it's so, compelling and shocking when you see these, documentaries of, a woman who was just a fucking... murdering lady.
Dude.
Oh God, this is
there's 5 of them
ever
compared to hundreds of men.
Right, I would say
more.
it's 2%.
Yeah,
they're 2% of,
and it's usually she was murdering because her girlfriend was gang banged, and she wants every man to die.
That's a cool.
Whereas with men, it's just he was just
no one wanted to fuck him.
Yeah,
he didn't clean himself, and he didn't think there was a reason to not have sex.
He talked to a dog,
and so
fucking like dogs more than people.
Yeah.
See, pet owners, chill the fuck out.
Jesus.
When you refer to yourself as your dog's daddy, it might start giving you commands that you will do. that you will carry out.
Is that a thing?
What?
A guy whose dog started giving him commands?
I believe it was John Wayne Gacy.
Okay.
Or maybe Ted Bundy.
Yeah,
one of those.
I feel like I had heard,
one of those. Yeah. Yeah. One of those. And I tell you what.
One of those fellas.
Those guys could have saved a few. Should have just shown up with some, like, hey, excuse me, lady. This was your son. I was going to murder him, but I thought maybe what if I didn't? You and I can go get coffee.
Yeah, it just saved his life. When you think about it.
Saved his life from me.
So me and you?
What do you think, huh? They say your worst enemy's often yourself.
Also,
and I defeated myself for your kid. For you.
Coffee?
Huh?
Eh?
That's how you do it.
That's how it's done. Sugar.
Those two guys were just normal Joes just striking out left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy.
Well, I think we did it.
Yep. I don't
Do you think old people, like when they're sitting in chairs and they've been talking for a long time and then they just like realize they've run out of things to talk about, do you think it ever gets mentioned, or do they just kind of like just
just fall asleep?
Yeah, kind of, right? You would just power down.
I kind of wish that humans because I know I've heard the sleep cycle has been affected by whatever, but I kind of wish instead of needing 8 hours of sleep or whatever it is, that you just sort of needed just like little 5-minute bursts.
Oh, that added up.
Or just like throughout the.
Yo, that's actually a great, like, to be able to decide exactly when you get your 8 hours would be a huge
and it was just sort of
improvement on general experience.
Yeah. Or just like when you weren't doing anything. So it's like if humans were just all like Priuses, when it was like when you're not actively doing something in those moments, just and you can just do it anywhere. And then the moment you're like, someone's like, Sean, yeah, and you're just
even more alert than you were before.
Yeah, you're there. You got your little 3.5 minutes in.
Maybe that's what heroin addicts are really doing.
Just
they're not nodding off. They're just charging up.
Charging up.
They're actually fully in charge of their own existence.
Yeah. Charging up for to fucking, I don't know what to do. What though?
Gather copper.
Yeah, exactly.
Strip a old house of its
getting their naps,
usable scraps.
Yep. Getting their naps in to just rip rims off with their bare hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what's up. See, all serves a purpose. A lot of those guys wouldn't be. A lot of those people, parents took life too goddamn personally, and they turned to the tar.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, don't do heroin.
Every fucking time we sit this far back, I keep thinking there's a door right there. And there's never a door right there. I think it's that sound just creates